Hi guys, welcome to Bassback TV. I'm John, part of the newly formed media team. Last week, me, Max and Andy had a discussion just about creating some videos for our YouTube channel. One of the ideas we come up with was to ask some of our age group parents and players if they'd like to ask any questions reference the club, not just to reference COVID-19, but anything in general. We put them out last week, I think it was. We've had the questions back. So today we are going to put those questions to Stuart Round, our head of age group. He's going to come in and answer them questions for us. So yeah, stay tuned. Give the video a like, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. It was that small, my big fat fingers just smashed it to pieces.
Feel like Prince Andrew.
Right, so, morning Stuart.
Morning.
Morning. So you've decided to answer these questions in the rawest format, as in you don't know any of the questions.
Yeah, a bit like Boris Johnson at the Daily Briefing.
Yeah, so this could be interesting. So, we'll start off with a parent from the under 8. I'll not say the name. Doesn't really matter.
No, that's fine,
A parent from the under 8. So the first question is, why have the club not started the training guidelines advised by the FA?
Right, that's a really good question. So, the guidelines came out following pressure from, I think, Robbie Savage mainly, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, put pressure on the government to say other sports can train now, why can't grassroots football? And the government released limited guidance, basically saying that we could train in groups of 6 with a coach. And then we, as a club, then waited for further guidance that came from the FA and then the local FA, Lancs FA. The issue we've got really is that we're a big club. So we've got nearly 500 kids, 40 teams, and we've got to think about how do we, as a club, put that together so that everyone gets to train. If you think about what's happening in schools now, you've got reception class, year 1 and year 6 going back, and they're going back in bubbles of like 8 to 15 kids. They're having to stay 2 metres apart, teachers having to wear masks, having to sanitise things. So we have to think about, as a club, how do we bring that to Moss Bank? So if I said, right, on a Monday night, normally the under 8s, under 9s and under 10s would train, we'd have 30, 40 kids out here. So how do we make it safe? Because the bottom line is, we're responsible for your children. We don't want to bring them back too early and put them in any kind of danger, really. So we want to come back. Trust me, from the senior management, from the club itself, from all the coaches, we want to come back and train your kids and play football on Saturday morning, but we want to do it safely. We don't want to do it rushed. So we're meeting every 2 weeks to discuss it, and as soon as we can, we'll get back.
Right, from a parent in our under 12s, do the club expect parents to continue paying subscriptions in July? And why have they set up a payment schedule from July?
Yeah, this is something that obviously we've wrestled with again at a senior management level, that we are a community club, okay? We've been around a long time and we provide grassroots football for local kids, okay? Nobody here makes any money. I don't get paid, none of the coaches get paid, we're not making a profit, we're not sitting on big reserves of money. Everything that comes in the club is to pay for your kids to enjoy football. And that's budgeted over a 12-month period. So over 12 months, we have bills that go out, be that new kits, training kits, pitch maintenance, all that's got to be paid for. So the issue is that if we don't have income, if we don't have subscriptions, then the club just won't exist anymore. So we had to look at it, we had to look at when do we start from, and the decision was taken that we would hopefully be back training soon and subscriptions would start from July. We appreciate these are difficult times and some people are losing their jobs, struggling with income, and obviously as a club we do everything we can to support those people. But we can't just put the club on hold, otherwise there won't be a club to come back to once the government says we can.
Brilliant. Right, from our under 15s, I think, I can't quite make that out, but are players allowed to organise a fitness session, as in jogging, with some of our players following social distancing rules away from the club?
It's a difficult question, isn't it? So, the short answer is no. From a Moss Bank point of view, we're saying at this moment in time, no training sessions should be held. Now, there's nothing to stop players, parents of players, encouraging fitness amongst their children. So if you're a parent and you've got a 15-year-old and he's been sat playing his PlayStation and having too many pizzas, then let's get him out jogging, have no issue with that. And if he wants to go jogging with his mates and they're staying 2 metres apart, that's absolutely fine. But that's a big difference from saying Moss Bank to say, right, teams get together in groups and start doing fitness tests or start doing bleep tests. So that's our guidance.
And on 10 parents, what is the purpose of the head of age groups?
The head of age groups was brought in about 6 months ago now to look at the structure of the club as a whole. So we've talked about the structure of the club as a whole. We talk about having a chairman. Our chairman has sadly passed away recently. And we look at the club secretary, the youth secretary, and there's lots of roles within this club, and we're a big club. So the problem that we had was that parents and some managers were going straight to the top really to get answers for things. So the head of age groups was brought in to try and coordinate that. So there's a buffer really, so we can deal with local problems. So for example, in my under nines, if there's an issue with a child not enjoying it or the wrong ability, I can intervene. If there's an issue where there's been a problem on a match day between two teams, I can intervene. So it doesn't mean that there's constantly problems or issues going straight up to the top of the chain. It just brings a structure, brings a more professional structure to the club, and touch wood, so far it's running smoothly.
Brilliant. Question from our under 16 parents. Are the club going to remember Gary Russell with a plaque, fixture or symbol of that people can see and contribute to? Yeah, I think I read that right, yeah.
Yeah, again, this is something pre-COVID pandemic that we were looking at. So Gary was a massive part of this club. He had a vision of where he wanted this club to be, and we as a senior management team want to carry that on. There was various projects that Gary was pioneering, be it the youth council, being us looking at getting grants for pitch improvements, the push that we made to try and get some funding for 3G pitches. So we want to provide some kind of permanent legacy for Gary, and it's how do we go about doing that. So we talked about pre-pandemic, maybe a fun day, maybe a sponsored walk, trying to raise money and look at something in Gary's memory, and there was numerous ideas put forward. So we're open to ideas. What do people want? But at this moment in time, no one's made a decision, but it's certainly something that we're definitely going to do.
Thanks for that. This may be a difficult one to answer, but
Go on, then.
we'll put it to you anyway. When do you think the season will start?
September.
Not that difficult then.
No. Yeah, who knows? I mean, the bottom line is I'm not epidemiologist. I don't know what's happening with COVID. The current date from the league, from the Bolton Bury District League, is it's looking like September 13th, which is when we're aiming for, and fingers crossed the infection rate goes down and we can bring back grassroots football. I mean, like I said, if I knew that, I'd be buying lottery tickets.
Brilliant. Right, question for our under 10s. How do I apply to be in the youth council?
Easy. Speak to your manager or your coach and ask them to pass it on to the head of age group, and we'll funnel it up to the senior management team. And we're really passionate about the youth council. It's important that the kids have got a voice and can pass back to us their opinions and their thoughts about how the club moves forward. So as many kids as possible who want to join the youth council can let us know, and we'll put your name forward.
Superb, thank you. Coach under 7s. Will we still have the opportunity to undertake the level 1 coaching badge? If so, when?
Yeah, and who knows? So as a club, we've been dead passionate about that. I've been here 2 years now, and since my course, I think we've run 3 or 4 level 1 courses. We are committed in pushing coaching forward at Moss Bank, particularly amongst some of our younger members. So for example, one of my coaches, 17 years old, come up through the club, played for teams, and we put him through his level 1, and he's been a great addition. So yeah, the club will always run level 1 courses and try and get as many coaches as possible through that. All we ask is obviously a commitment to the club itself. When, who knows? We're back in the same boat, aren't we? It's down to the government when they tell us they can. Hopefully not too long off.
Under 12s, will the 9x9 pitch on the pavilion be used this season?
Hopefully. I mean, I can't think of, before we got called off, I can't think of a wetter season. It rained and rained and rained and rained, and particularly the 9x9 pitch did suffer greatly, which is why we looked at Barlow Park as an alternative. Since we've been in lockdown, it's been blinking like Mallorca. You know, sunny and dry, pitches are great. So at the moment, yeah, we're going to be using it. I can't predict the weather or viruses.
Question for one of the girls' parents. What's happening with the girls' teams next season?
Good question. We are here at the club passionate about girls' football. We've been trying for a while to gain more teams, take on a women's team and look at a coordinator for all that. I know Joe, who's our UEFA B coach here, he's dead passionate about it. He's doing his best to try and push that forward. I can't give you a definite answer, but if anyone's interested in stepping forward and assisting coaching the girls' team, then come and see us, we'll support you.
Under 14s parents, are there any plans to level Captain's Club?
What, completely? Yeah, I mean, again, this is stuff that we talked about before, isn't it? This is about grants and funding. So, yeah, there are plans to level Captain's Clough, but that's an expensive job. It's not something that we're going to start taking out your subscriptions. So, like I said, Gary, God bless him, as our chairman, was pushing for that, pushing for more funding in relation to pitches, 3G pitches, pitch maintenance, and that's something that we want to do. But at the moment, obviously, we can't go anywhere in the current climate. So the answer is, yes, there is. We're trying to get funding.
Brilliant. Under 10s parent, sorry. Why are the teams based on ability when they have friends in other teams?
Good question, this. So this is something that we've struggled with, particularly under 9s that I coordinate. And it's really, really difficult conversation to have with parents. The FA guidance is the four corners model. So we look at not only footballing ability, we look about social development. As a whole, we're looking at the child and how that child can best benefit. The issue is, if you put a little Johnny in a team and he's too good for that team, then he doesn't develop. He doesn't develop as a footballer. He doesn't develop as a person. He doesn't want to pass the ball to his teammates. He thinks they're not good enough. It causes conflict. We don't want that. So from a footballing point of view, they need to be in the same ability. What that does though, the plus side of that is that it also encourages new friendship groups, new social groups. So we take little Johnny out of a team where he's been for 2-3 years, we move him up to a team or move him down, he's meeting new friends, he's getting a new coach, he's learning about building new friendships. In life, unfortunately, nothing's always smooth and easy, and you know, grassroots football is the same. Sometimes we have to move, we have to have change, and ultimately it benefits them. So that's why we do it. This club, and I'm quite passionate about it, is not about winning. I'm not interested in what the score is on a match day, especially at our underage groups, younger age groups. All I want them to do is enjoy football, and they do that by being in the right ability.
Brilliant, thank you. Right, so that's them questions are out of the way. We get to the more serious stuff.
Oh, God,
I've got a few sort of quick
is it about COVID?
Quick fire questions. When you go to the kitchen, are you a bacon or a sausage man?
Both.
Bacon and sausage.
With an ash brown.
Out of all the coaches here at Moss Bank, which do you think is the funniest?
Me.
Preference, 3G pitches or grass pitches?
Grass pitches.
Always.
Well, grass pitches, if it's here on our pitches.
Yeah, until winter and then...
No, I don't mind playing here at winter. Our pitches are good. I've been on some pitches, I won't name names, where it's like it's like climbing Everest.
This one should be relatively easy. Who's the biggest moaner?
Andy Kearney.
Who has the worst haircut? They're going to see this, so just tread lightly.
Yeah, I think we'll pass on that one.
Who has the best beard?
Me.
Undoubtedly, really.
Oh, well, to be fair, I could do with a trim.
Right, I think that's it for your question, Stuart, so thanks for that.
No, thank you very much.
I think you've answered everything that our parents and our players wanted. So yeah, thanks for your time.
No problem at all, thank you.